Cool. I wonder how many weekly Wednesdays we've done so far.
Oh wow. Yeah, I mean, between you, when you started was like almost 6 months ago or something, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it's been pretty consistent. I don't think we've missed a week. There was an echo there, sorry. But yeah, it's been interesting. I remember seeing somebody do this. And I was just like, let's do it because it's pretty easy. It's 30 minutes. It's just time box for us. It's not like we have to do any editing. It's just a time for us to just hop onto a live stream and talk for 30 minutes about what we build or what we want to build. And then all of you in the audience can be like, hey, these are the guys building the thing we're using. So,
Love it.
um,
Love it.
cool. Well, we got some people in the chat. If you're here for the first time, say hi. If you're here for not the first time, like Noel in the chat, love to see you. I just was editing our customer story, Noel, so that one should come out in the next week or so. We just sync them up, figure out the best time to release them. But Noel has a really cool story. He's a cybersecurity expert. He's been in the field for like 40 years.
Oh,
We were
nice.
talking like he mentioned how he was in computers when they were using floppy disks, saw the introduction of color monitors, and now he's using AI to create a cybersecurity IT podcast through JellyPod. So it was an interesting story. It's
Nice,
cool.
nice. And very critical too, especially in this day and age. I just like saw today Claude released a Claude for Chrome,
All
and
right.
the Hacker News like was like half of the Hacker News site was like, oh my God, this is like the worst case scenario where you're getting access to your data and your browser, and it's just a security nightmare waiting to happen. And actually, in their internal tests, they found out that someone was able to inject like a prompt in Claude and make it delete their Gmail or whatever. So, it can happen.
Yeah, it's super interesting, and I know we won't get into this, but if anyone else like on the audience enjoys that type of content, we do a podcast called Creative Flux. It's on
Yeah,
Spotify, and we'll probably talk a little bit about that Claude
yeah.
Code or Claude in the browser. But it's super interesting the security stuff there because cookie hijacking, having alignment issues with the AI in the browser. I mean, yeah, I would love to have this conversation because it's really relevant.
Yeah,
But
we will.
everyone here
Creative.
is like,
Check
what?
out Creative Flux every Friday.
Yeah, we'll talk. I'll put that. Let's talk about that. Let me put that in the agenda, like right now, just so I don't forget. Um, but hi everybody. How's everyone's week going so far? Um, Say hi in the chat if you
Hi.
haven't.
Yeah,
Um,
hello everyone. This is an exciting week. We have some cool updates for you guys. So hopefully,
Very
we'll get a
cool.
good crowd.
Yeah, let's start with the less cool one, I think, because usually people come and more towards the end, and there's a lot more to talk about our new audio model that we released yesterday.
Right.
So yeah, so this week we had two cool new features that launched besides all the bug fixes and things that we do normally. Um, Sorry, I'm just seeing what Noel just said. It's hard to talk and then you see some
Yeah, yeah.
conversation pop up. So um,
Oh yeah, no, that's a good call out. Apparently, I read once an article, I'll like click on the like that the number one reason most people have security issues is because they don't update their OS or whatever. So it's very common. That-
yeah, totally,
Yeah.
totally.
But
Um,
coming to the
but
updates, so I don't think there's any less cool update. I think both are phenomenal. So I'm excited for both. Actually, I think they're gonna change the game for a lot of people. So
Totally. They're both things that people have been asking for, and it's just like step one of just this mission, our mission to make, the best sounding AI podcasts, the most customizable, enabling your creativity, and just making it super fun and easy to create podcasts and media in JellyPod. But the first major update here. We'll just start with this because I think it's less cool personally, but maybe you disagree. Per episode hosts. So a lot of you, the current workflow before this week was I create a podcast series and I have a few hosts that I want to have in that podcast series. You might have Joe and Sally. You put those in your podcast series, And every new episode that you create has Joe and Sally as your podcast hosts. And for a lot of you, this is fine, but there was a number of you that maybe wanted a certain episode to have a new host, right? Like you wanted to add Steve, who's a Scottish IT expert, and you wanted to add him as a guest to that one episode specifically, not to the entire series, but just to that one episode. It was really hard to do that. It was possible, but you had to go to your podcast. You had to edit the podcast series, add the new host, save your changes, regenerate the script, go back, and this affected all of your episodes across all of your podcast. But today, you're now able to just edit the hosts for a specific episode by without going to your podcast editing the series.
Yeah, it's right there in the top menu bar to the left. You can click on the host and you can select or deselect from the list. You can even do it on the create new page. It pops up. It used to be you used to show the two hosts you or the four hosts whatever you had as badges, but now it's a drop down that you can select from. And I actually think it's really it opens up. It makes it much more seamless like a lot of workflows like we talked about the guest host one where you have regular couple of hosts but sometimes you want a special host to come in and you can like easily select them without needing to edit podcasts. But I
Right.
also think it also especially now with four hosts you can do other stuff like it's almost like you do these two hosts for a certain episode and you mix it up the next one because it's a different topic or it just keeps it it's a easier way to mix it up and add variety to your podcast.
Totally, totally. Yeah, it's super exciting because I do this all the time. I just swap out hosts, and I'm like, it's annoying to go to the podcast and edit every time. But so, yeah, just like what Bilal was saying here, you can change your hosts when you're creating a new episode. So this button right here. If you click on hosts, it brings up all your hosts. This is a test account, so I have 45 hosts. So a lot of them. Some of them are all me. But it's super easy because by default, when you go to this page, your podcast series hosts are going to be selected. So if you don't want to edit your hosts, you don't have to make any changes. It just works just as it was before, and you just will have your podcast series host selected by default. But if you want to create the new host, that's maybe not just a monologue with Oliver, and I want David to go in there, I can just click those two, create new episode, and they'll go to the outline. Um, and I'll just show this real quick for anybody that's joining us for the first time and seeing this how the JellyPod works. But I didn't add a source there. I just used one of those default suggestions, so that's why you see no sources on the left. But outline sometimes doesn't show the hosts depending on what we create, but we can see this Oliver and David in here. We have two
Yeah.
hosts, so you can change it here as well. Right, and then we'll generate the script real quick.
Yeah.
So this is just the flow for everybody. Um, Natasha, 45 hosts, it's unlucky me because I never know which one I want to be using and playing around with. Um, so
Yeah, that might be a record. I don't think most people go over maybe a few of them.
yeah, I give myself permission just to create as many as I want. But yeah, so look at this. I mean, we had David and Oliver. The script is coming in. The normal syntax error podcast only had one of them here. And let's say I was generating this, I don't like it. I want to add a third host here. I want Dr. Victor Harlan as well. Um, Now you see three hosts. If I just regenerate the script, what's going to happen is it's going to stream in with a completely different conversation because now you have, yeah, hi, I'm Oliver, joined by Victor and my brother David. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much that.
Nice.
I think it
Like you
makes
have the
sense.
brother relationship in the host backstories as well for the two Bennetts. It's a
I
cool.
wonder if that's actually in the backstory. I forget now. So I wonder, I don't know if I said that they're brothers. Maybe I said in this in the podcast description, but they do have last name, and maybe that's emergent. They just were
Yeah,
like, "Hey, same
interesting.
last name."
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just occurred. I'm like, that's a good way to, develop ties,
right.
I guess.
There was a podcast. I think it was A16Z or one of those big VCs,
Venture
and he
Twins,
was which one?
the Venture Twins one.
No, no, no. It was I forget her name. It's just a solo interviewer, and she was interviewing Jack Altman. And Jack Altman has another podcast called Uncapped,
Huh.
or
Oh,
and she was
sorcery.
like, yeah, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And she was talking to Jack Altman. It's like, hey, like, how was it interviewing Sam Altman?
Oh, yeah,
And
I
Jack
saw
was
that.
like,
That's
oh, like I was like it was chill. It's like, oh, you weren't nervous? He's like, no, it's my brother. And and she was like, wait, that's your brother? He's like, yeah, Jack Altman, Sam Altman, that's my brother. He
funny.
looks like me. But yeah, so there we go. And it
Yeah,
looks like, yeah. So we'll stop sharing this for a second.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, so that's new episode per episode hosts, and there we go. Got the thumbs up. And yeah, so this is the other one. You want to talk about this one, Bull?
sure. Yeah. So I know a lot of you have been asking for a more, I guess the number one complaint we've received is like the voice isn't as natural sounded as some other platforms, etc. And in general, you want the voice to sound more expressive, natural. And so we've been working, yeah, on this new model that we just integrated, which we're very excited about, which is called Horizon. And it's not, you can easily switch it on. You don't have to retrain any of your voices or anything. I know some people ask, but what the Horizon allows you to do is just same as before, doesn't the workflow doesn't change, but it should hopefully give you a much higher quality, more natural sounding, expressive audio. And we can kind of maybe we can even demonstrate it in the script you just generated. Some of the difference. Yeah, do you need to retrain? No, you do not need to retrain any of the voices or your voice clones, etc. But I do want to point out a couple of caveats with Horizon because it is a different model. So if you were used to your host sounding a certain way, you may not like the new out sound, because it's more of a taste thing. So you can always switch back to the classic model under account settings. But we definitely want you to give Horizon a chance because I do think it's going to be a game changer for a lot of people. Horizon is slightly different than the old model in the sense that it usually the latency it requires a little more generation time because it's generating a higher quality output, and also it can be very sensitive to the backstory, etc. So if you were used to very exaggerated backstories to get your host to sound a certain way, you might find that it's sounding way over the top now, and so you might want to tone it down a bit there. But Horizon is super powerful, and uh, right now we've just introduced with the model we are going to introduce hopefully a prompt guide and more interesting features using it. But you can do a lot of things that you couldn't do with the previous model, like add ellipses to add pauses. You can if you add like exclamation marks and stuff, it'll actually use that to sound animated, excited. So definitely play around with it, play around with the script, with the phrasing, etc. I would probably regenerate a block so you're not wasting a lot of credits, and really try to hone in on your type or your voice. And then once you're happy with that, you can generate all, etc.
Right. No, it's super exciting. I think you mentioned a few things here I wanted just to reemphasize as well. So the voice is much more the model is much more expressive. So we'll all just mention how the backstory, if you have like a verbose backstory and you're tweaking your backstory to get the host to say things in a certain way, um, we've noticed that the phrases are oftentimes exaggerated. So exclamation points really have an emphasis, and there are just more subtle changes. So if the script says something that's um, based on what the script says, the model is just going to interpret that and make its best guess and how to like really emphasize emotion and tone and pacing and all those other characteristics that we don't really think about when we're conversing. But that just exist in natural conversation. So just, if there's something that sounds over the top, maybe just remove the exclamation point, replace it with a period. If there's an ellipses or something that just pauses too long or just doesn't sound natural, like always, modify the script, regenerate. Let us know also, like, please reach out with feedback in chat here. It's very difficult for us to like we can't listen to everyone's podcasts. We don't listen to everyone's podcasts. And so if you have feedback like, hey, this is just, I don't like it as much. I love this. Maybe you want to give us a sample. Like, hey, check out my podcast. It sounds great. Or it doesn't sound that good. Let us know, because we're just figuring this out. And we just released this. There'll be bugs, but this is like one step forward to making the podcast just way better, more natural. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And we can demonstrate, I guess, some of the difference as well.
Right.
It won't use any more credits than before. It's the same. So.
right. It's the same credit usage. Can it get annoyed? I think it
Yeah,
can get annoyed.
let's show you guys if you can get annoyed. I think
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see. What we can do is you generate the script, we can generate the audio, and then let's show the group how to switch the model, and then we can regenerate maybe a block or something.
Sweet, sweet. Okay, cool. And by default, so let's clarify. So by default, the model is on or off?
It's off. We had some experiments with that, but we've decided to switch it off because we don't want to give you a surprise. But like, there's easy way. There's a banner that shows up if you are on the old model that you can click on and change the settings.
All right, cool, cool. And for new users too, will they go to the settings? I forget.
No, for new users, if you're a new user, we'll just switch it on. You still have the option to go back to the old model, but we didn't want to confuse new users with more options. So we're like, we'll just give you a new one.
Right, right.
But this could be a good contrast. So maybe actually the first paragraph we can start. If we play, does the sound come through?
Let's see. It's,
All right, welcome back to Syntax Error. Everyone,
did that come through?
Yeah, I think it did. Yeah.
It was. Okay. I don't know if it was coming through the microphone or if it was coming through directly, but
Yeah.
you heard
So
it.
what if you like delete all the part except for the first phrase and then maybe add an exclamation mark and let's just regenerate that audio. You can just regenerate the first part. But
Sweet. Okay. So this is the Horizon model. Right now, I just generated this, but
oh, this is not the Horizon model, I think, because you have the new model.
oh yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
So
So
if you go under account settings, that's how you change it. It's under your bottom left drop down, and then you can click Horizon if you want.
just go here, account settings, Horizon. Okay, so we just changed it, but I haven't regenerated. So this is, well, that's a bug.
Interesting. You change the model that like it generates audio again. Interesting.
Well, we're learning. We're living and learning here. I don't know.
Maybe delete the everything so it doesn't take a long time, and then just generate the first paragraph again.
Something good to know. Okay, well, I'll look into this. We'll generate the audio.
Oh,
That's so funny. This is my test account that doesn't have admin permissions.
oh, I
Let me,
can. Maybe I can switch.
let me just give me some credits real quick.
No.
1 second, everybody. Sorry,
In the meanwhile, I'll answer any questions. So somebody asked if your host sounds slow. So yeah, that's a good call out. And especially with this new model, I've heard, I have noticed the hosts can sound a little bit slower because they really try to enunciate every word, really be expressive. And for me, what's worked is if you go in the speech log under host settings, there's a speed option and you can like put that to fast and that should speed up the host. So if you click on the host on the speech block, it'll give you settings for that speech block.
So interesting. That was really interesting. I didn't even do anything. Well, I have some work to do after this call to figure out why it prompted me. I didn't even add credits, and I re-click generate, and there we go. So,
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
so
bugs.
maybe it was fetching and it failed to fetch or something.
Yep.
We'll see.
I'm curious about the generated audio one. I guess I didn't. Maybe it resets because of the new model. Which, anyways, hey, this is how
I have some theories, but we'll fix it right after this
fix it
call.
after.
So
Yeah.
there we go.
So
But
yeah, I mean,
cool.
as you can see, it'll take maybe 2 to 3 times sometimes longer to generate the script. That's just a trade-off we made, but hopefully once it's done, it'll actually sound pretty,
Right, there we go.
more natural, better.
All right, welcome back to Syntax Error, everyone. I'm Oliver, joined as always by Victor and my brother David. If you're just tuning in, we spent our last episode with Dr.
So it's like
Rafi
hard to
bringing-
tell, but I feel like it does sound natural. Maybe like what we can do is delete everything and take that first sentence and add an exclamation mark. Like, all right, welcome back to everyone, and just add a exclamation mark or something, and
There.
see if.
All right, so let's listen to this real quick. This first sentence.
All right, welcome back to Syntax Error, everyone. I'm Oliver, joined as always by Victor and my brother David.
So it sounded pretty chill. Sounded pretty nice. A little faster than it's Oliver usually talks, but I think it just made more sense. It's cool.
So
Now we'll
maybe we should
regenerate
add the
this.
exclamation mark after all right or something. But
We can play around and see, what this one sounds like.
All right, welcome back to Syntax Error, everyone. I'm Oliver, joined as always by Victor and my brother David.
so
Dude, that was cool. I
yeah,
like that.
yeah, the pauses and stuff. I feel like it was way better.
The pauses
and-
was cool, and the David at the very end, it was like, and my brother, David, and it was like very much so. The exclamation point was like David. The accent was
Yeah, exactly. And this is something we're gonna roll out later, but I feel like we should give a sneak peek to our audience. So what if you add like a tag of annoying or something? There.
So like this, annoyed.
Yeah, let's see if that does something.
Should I take out the exclamation point or should I leave it?
You can do groans maybe, like add a groans or something. I don't know. Or sighs deeply,
Ooh, let's see this. Do you think that will work?
maybe.
Okay, let's see what happens. This will be cool. Can it cope with long episodes without timing out? It should. Yeah, I don't think this should be an issue. So let me know if you do see this timing out, but yeah. Okay, let's see.
All right, welcome back to Syntax Error, everyone. I'm Oliver, joined as always by Victor and my brother David.
It did
That's
at the very end.
Yeah, sometimes the first. What if you add
It did do it.
all
though,
right
didn't it?
exclamation mark and then what? All right. Oh, and screams loudly, like or something maybe. Woohoo! Like.
Where do
whoops
you think?
loudly. Like screams loudly after all right or something maybe.
Welcome back. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so these bracketed, these is not a release feature yet. So everybody that's watching this, you get this tip because hey, you come to Weekly Wednesdays and sometimes we'll just share things that we're working on behind the scenes and that we won't publicly announce or release anywhere else. So play around with it. If it's broken, don't ping me on support on the brackets not working because it's not official yet, but you might get it to work. Let's see this one. All right, screams loudly.
All right. Welcome back.
I thought that was gonna happen. I had a feeling
Yeah.
it was gonna actually scream like it was getting
Yeah.
shot or something.
What's cool is how versatile these tags are, these audio tags, that's what we're calling them. You can add stuff like, all right, and the wind howls or lightning strikes. So it's almost, so there's like these sound effects you can add. And somebody asked, could it do a sarcastic tone? You can do that. You can say, he's, says sarcastically. I don't know. Maybe we can add that. You know, let's try adding that somewhere. Maybe, but it should be able to be very versatile in what you ask it, as long as I guess and it's something we're figuring out ourselves. Like where exactly you want to put the tags and what works best. Because you want to tell the model like what part of the speech you want to sound like that tag.
Right. Right. Totally. Let's see.
So I think that might not work because you might have to say he says sarcastically or something like that. But
Oh, really?
All right, welcome back to Syntax Error, everyone. I'm Oliver.
I guess, and I don't even know how you would say that sarcastically. Even it's kind of just
yeah,
great.
yeah, you can do stuff like he whispers loudly. He says in a whispering voice or something, but that at the front of the sentence, and hopefully that'll make the latter half sound like a whisper, maybe. Or,
I wonder if that will work. I'm just curious, like how you phrase things in a whisper, or like he says in whisper,
yeah, or whispering.
whispering.
All right, welcome back to Syntax Error, everyone. I'm Oliver, joined as always by Victor and my brother.
It's okay. I don't know if it really whispered. Let's say whispering. But yeah, this is cool. I can just play around with this all day
I know.
long.
I mean, I feel like it opens a whole new dimension of storytelling because you can add sound effects, you can add expressions.
Right.
All right, welcome back to Syntax Error, everyone. I'm Oliver.
Didn't work, but that's okay.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's like this is why it's like hit or miss. We're still gonna, work on this and test more before we do a full release. But wanted to give you guys a sneak peek on what is possible with the model. So
Right.
hopefully, this goes. This inspires you to come up with interesting ideas on how to incorporate this into your podcast.
Totally.
Because I do think this is a game changer because most AI or AI audio in general, I feel like the biggest the tell is like it sounds monotone. It's like very flat, and I think this with the baseline quality going up in general because in general it should just sound more natural off the bat, and then
Right.
adding these elements with your own touch, you can really I think generate a voice which I think basically will pass the Turing test and will convince a lot of people that it's not AI and it resonate more. So this is going to be I think a very interesting alpha to have for the next few months where before this becomes more ubiquitous and everyone kind of catches on. I think this is like a golden window right now to create amazing podcasts and get in front of the curve.
Totally. I completely agree. It's really interesting what you said just about passing Turing test. Honestly, some of the podcasts that I've heard from previous on the classic model, I was like, wait, did somebody upload this or did they generate it in Jellypod? And it's always funny to be like, no, that was generated in Jellypod. I'm like, wow, I'm blown away. And then sometimes, there are just things that you can obviously tell. And so we're going to also, with the new model, everything's just going to get better across the board. But we'll also probably go through and clean up some voices that I've noticed consistently just underperform and don't meet the standards. So we'll go through and clean some of those up, and we'll notify you if you're using a host that maybe has a voice that we're going to remove, just because we want you to have the best tools at your disposal that are high quality and you know, sometime maybe your host has a voice change and it's going to be okay. But if you're, and so we'll notify if that's the case, if that happens. And I know we're almost right around time here at 10:30, but not as many questions, more of a demo session today.
Yeah.
So we released the two new features, right? Per episode hosts. So, you can go up
Yeah.
here to the
Yeah.
hosts button
Yeah,
and
I
change
think
those up.
this will be. I think it is cool. It's gonna be actually one last one. Can you add singing loudly, but not in front, like in the middle? I'm before I'm Oliver. Oliver, I want to see if it sings. That would be awesome.
Singing.
Maybe we can add like a whole music angle to it, but
Should I say singing loudly or singing?
yeah, singing. I think you misspelled that.
Signing.
But yeah, I think yeah, hopefully you guys are inspired by this, and I'm looking forward to some of the outputs of this new model, like and what people do with it, because um, I think it'll be super interesting and fun.
All right. Let's see.
All right, welcome back to Syntax Error, everyone. I'm Oliver, joined as always by Victor.
Just ignore that. He didn't want to sing there. Maybe a laugh sometimes. I know everybody asks about laughs. This is something. Let's see if this one
Yeah.
gets it done. And sometimes it'll just work on the second regen. So let us know.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. This is where you want to be careful about your generations, so you don't like use up all the credits. I would experiment with the block, and then
all right.
All right, welcome back to Syntax Error, everyone. I'm Oliver, joined as always by Victor.
Nope. That's okay.
Oh,
We're
oh,
trial and error. So see, that's why. Hey, sometimes it'll work on these. It's not official release feature. Play around with it.
Yeah,
It sounds
yeah.
better overall, but it's okay. That's what it is.
Yeah, but hey, I excited for this to be out there, and let us know, please, how you find the new model. Please give us feedback on what works, what doesn't work, and again, you can always go back to the classic model if this is just like breaking your workflow, or you just prefer the old model. It'll always be available under account settings. So
Totally. Yeah. So, any questions from anybody in the chat before we close off? If it's your first time here, I'm Pearson, and this is Bilal. I know we didn't introduce ourselves today, but yeah, just let us know what your thoughts are, and we do this every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So wherever you are around the world, join us every week, literally every week. We started off this conversation with like, I wonder how many weeks we've done this now, but it's been for months, like months. So every week, Wednesday.
yeah, consistency is key, as they say. You just
Right. Cool. Well, it doesn't look like any questions in the chat. If there are, and they come through later, we'll try to answer them. But also message us on support or via email, and we'll get back to you. And yeah, so let's end it there.
yeah. All right, bye guys.
Sweet. See you all. Bye.